And this is my pick. Mongrel, Mitro, and Tayson, the ability to pop off, the double factor of having an uncontested start. Now, granted, Jazzpace Trio is here as well, and Jazzpace Trio did kind of dip their toe into this deadly murky water of Mongrel, Mitro, and Tayson, and they paid the price. They got bounced on out, and that's why I feel already, look, they got some points here already, man.
I mean, you can see that just the score coming over for them there, but I think that might just be a little bit of a visual artifact remaining from the last game and not quite being wiped because no eliminations coming through. Again, you did hear the analyst and Zeke talk about it. The first match, there was a little bit of a matchmaking issue, wanting to make sure all of the correct 33 teams were able to play all of their grand finals matches to the best of their ability. And he was trying to see, it's almost like that first prod, you're poking a chink in the armor, you check the shield wall, find out where that weak member is, and then you focus your forces right there. And it seems like Vadil and co have decided, well, you know what? Let's test the mettle of Savage, Benji, and Lecce. Let's see how good they really are. They were battling up here against Aqua, Noah, and Raison time and time again during the qualifiers, but now Vadil, Fastroki trying to put the pressure over the top. They're running through right away. Shots coming over, but not quite necessarily connecting. Getting the cone control in and good pressure. Doors being shut in his face, but hasn't quite heard of that one coming through, and Vadil gets the worked right there. You saw him put Mongrel in a blender, but this time he's being served up as a smoothie as they're going to line up the headshots and get as much Storm Surge damage there.
What an unbelievable elim for Savage, Lecce, and Benji. Yes, even the elite need confidence, and that's going to be huge. And Vadil went for a bigger bite than he could chew right then and there. And going down so early, considering that momentum, as Shia was talking about, momentum from Heat's looking like it's not carrying over. And Lecce, Savage, and Benji, historically, throughout the qualifiers, throughout every form of this FNCS Trio season, they've been historically very, very, very slow starts. And already a strong start with getting 2 elims, so that's 2 points. Considering the way the format works, we always talk about the consistency. iDrop, Sturtsix, and Vettel are that consistent factor. They don't play above their means. They stick to their textbook. They stick to that playbook so strong, and that is why they were in that top 5 in their heats, and they were very, very, very quiet. No one really kind of focused on them, and they consistently put that output, as we see get snagged out by Kira right there. Nice start to their day as well. Kira was this trio kind of got their way in from the heats. They kind of slowly crept in. They worked a lot. They held on tight. They didn't slip off of that top 8. So going in for that heats, they're looking to maintain that momentum. And already Kira is having some sort of a success in momentum, picking up 2 elims to start off day 1 here of the grand finals.
Had a victory royale, which meant if they'd gotten 1 more point, they would have owned that tiebreaker. But right now, hopping on board here, Kira, big 89 tag, but can't find the second. We're going to wait for a second here as the server catches up, and Kira going to be able to find the solo that is Steely. He's going to get picked up and finished off there. Now, 4 teams have already dropped here in our grand final. And they were one of 2 trios to make every single one of those round 3 qualifiers. It was them and the uncontested Stark Industries trio of Mongrel, Mitro, and Tayson. So just showing the kind of prowess of them there. And the key thing is for them, they land at the Authority, now the Ruins, and then they sprint. And I mean they sprint over to Risky Rios. And they say, if you're landing there, we're fighting you or we're pushing you out, because they want all the resources from both of those POIs.
I got to give a shout out to Clay Staling, a caster of the FNCS. He said that their communications is so funny. They're so jumbled up, but for some reason, that bonkers communications puts them on the same page and nets them an elim there on Cartoon's Wave. So that's going to be another elim going forward, starting them up, and now here they go. Legend gets eliminated. That's a second point here. We're about 10 placements away from placement points being doled out, but already you're seeing Hen go down, and I believe the Septos went down as well. So many big names are colliding, and Nas and Sturtsix colliding. iDrop 7 collides with Thomas HC, and Thomas HC overcomes that. And remember, they're all kind of parked up on this mountain. We took a peek at the minimap, and the minimap showed that this is going to be a zone that's going to favor. Now, for the first time in these kinds of zones here out in the coast of Dirty Docks, a lot of the players and the in-game leaders, nice pick right there from Benji, are going to prioritize this mountaintop, considering that the elevation down to the coastline just slopes all the way down. So, yes, center is usually a key factor here, but in this kind of zone, you're going to want to hold on to this height as much as possible, because making your way up Billy goading your way up is going to exhaust so many resources, and considering that the beams coming from up top will have that headshot multiplier, dangerous situation to be. So yes, everybody usually wants to live by the coast, have a beach, awesome condos and whatnot, but no, you want to be on the mountaintop looking down on those beach players.
Is that top left-hand corner. We need to see 50 players remaining before it turns off. Otherwise, 25 damage every 10 seconds to the most passive team. That's the one who has done the least amount of damage to the opponents to encourage some action, as we see plenty of action here.
Nakos, Clint, and Floki during the qualifiers got a lot of elims. They're averaging 5. They could input a lot of damage into the lobby, and they get an elim, a knock right then and there, and a confirmation. 1 point then, another beams. This triple beam kind of strategy is so strong, and look, it favors the people on the mountain. Zone 5 is pulled, so Thomas and Nas and Flick are sitting pretty. Now all the people who are down below are in danger, so we're going to keep an eye on all those people making those rotations.
Ooh! Oh, you saw him trying to line up the snipe in between. We talk about the angles and the box-to-box fighting and how Weapon could see the heads going right through, but just missing that. And you talked about the zone pulling over to the side. I would be shocked if Thomas and Co. now, they are 100% the favorites to win this game, because the others just even using utility to get up near them. However, CRR, Kinzel, and Wolfies just below them on second priority for height, so a shooting gallery for them as well.
And here we go. We're getting closer and closer, as Sundown said, into the end game. We're about the closing moments of mid-game action right now. And this is so scary if you're an in-game leader for all those trios. You're just seeing that shooting gallery as Kinzel picks up a knock right there. It's so difficult. Yes, we've been talking about the low ground and its prowess. The Savage gets confirmed. We've been talking about the prowess of low ground. But when Old Man Mountain shows up, that change in elevation, those natural terrain that kind of works as a concrete roadblock, you have no other option to go up. And when you go up, you walk into the arms and into the beams of trios like Kinzel and Flick's trio. Such a dangerous, and look at it. Look at the madness and the chaos down below.
And ADN getting cleaned up and down there. They're out, and they're also out in 18th, which signals the horn for the placement points to start coming through. If your trio outlasts another one, everyone receiving 1 point there, but you start to see those points rack up. And look at where the zone pulled. We're going back up over the top of the mountain. That gives so much power to Thomas HD and Co. However, right now we see edge of zone. We're on board with another Gamma Gaming player, Kami, here with Artur and Raxo, getting plenty of shots in, currently sitting on 1 elimination thanks to Artur, but Storm Surge not going to come and play anymore, as Old Man Mountain will take care of that. He's going to thin out more than 7 players here as the rotation is on, and you see these guys getting a good layer around the outside.
And this is the moments here. This match could wrap up quickly, so we'll keep an eye as the feed is lighting up with big names going down. All confirmation, all knocks, points are being rewarded. And look at it. This is that crazy rotation that everyone is making, trying to avoid the mountain. You're going to see everybody use tarps, mobility, anything they can to survive. And it is up to Mongrel to survive. The lone remaining trio member here. He could do it. We've seen the pop-ups happen. And that is what we're talking about. The Lone Rangers of the EU. And bang! Rojo gets bopped right there from Mongrel. Mongrel, this is all he needs. Just a couple of elims, and before you know it, he is on fire.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition, but you should expect Mongrel flying through the sky with a pump. We've seen highlight reel after highlight reel of the young Englishman doing it, but don't forget, up on the high ground, all the utility. Thomas is way up there. He's out past contention range, double tarping as you see the shockwaves come through, but Thomas and Flick are just providing support for Anas. A second shockwave goes up, and that's Benji getting beamed out of the sky by Flick as we swing down onto the low ground. It's Andelix and Duck on top, aka X Squeeze. He's in their top right hand corner. Wolfies, Kinzel, and CRR there in your bottom right, and then you can see on the wide you still have Thomas HD, Flick, and Anas controlling from the high ground as they're now going to swap roles and drop down a little bit.
And here we go. It is high versus low that's going to happen. We're seeing there, Anas, Thomas, and Flick are sitting pretty, and the chaos in the mud down below. It is X-Weeze, the Lone Ranger. Wolfies, CRR, and Kinzel are standing tall and all working as a trio. There goes the contention from height from Teak. Oh no, Teak, take it. Thomas HC now does not have height. Teak is sitting up there. That is the danger. So now we have a battle for height exploding up top. Down below, Wolfies is using the clay special, looking for any kind of angles. At the mid-ground, X-Weeze up top, exchanging some blows. X-Weeze is really low for the moment with no shield. Sundown.
and you can see they're getting forced out, trying to find a little bit of room. But right now, the box-to-box trio in your bottom right-hand corner, finding an elimination, the key one, that'll be their first, but a refresher as we have 14 players remaining, but still 7 trios on their feet, racking up the placement points. You still have Floki on the low ground as well. Mongrel still keeping himself in it, getting a point after point right now, but up on the high ground still. Thomas HD, Flick, Anas, no pressure, no worries, but nobody will be there in a hurry as they are just raining the shots from above. Floki and Clement trying to find a little bit of room, but the zone is moving back over. The height will be able to run it out, but what's happening on the low ground here as Wolfies has now turned from 0 elims to 3 in the blink of an eye, and you're seeing the shockwaves come out. They're going to prepare for a take.
It is the 9th zone, the ultimate closing time. The solo box fighters, the solo superstars are now going to go up against one of the strongest trios in the EU who have already split. Thomas HD is high. There it is. There it is. The shockwave. CRR, Wolfies and Kinzel have it. And down goes Thomas HD. What an unbelievable play and the right timing of using the shockwaves. Now it's up to CRR, Wolfies and Kinzel to put that statement, exclamation point here on the Victory Royale. The superstars coming all together, concreting the chemistry. The trio is real. It is a 2-trio competition. Wolfies is going to go in to sit on the storm. Wolfies is eating up, but it doesn't matter because Senzel is doing well. Flick goes down. There goes the confirmation. Wolfies, Kinzel, CR. Can they do it as this goes up elevation? Down goes Wolfie. Anas is still up. Anas is still up. Can Anas hold down? No! It is Kinzel, Wolfie, CRR coming together for the first Victory Royale in the grand finals.
That's match number 1 going that way with a well-timed shockwave execution. They unthrown Thomas HD from his seat up top, but we've seen it time and time again in the final moments while their clutch